Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Abdul Haziq Mustaqim bin Nur Azmi. Today I'm going to present about my final year project 1, which is titled Relayout the warehouse according to the Kaizen principle. First of all, I'm very thankful to my supervisor Dr. Azianti Ismail and also my CEO supervisor IR Dr. Nur Azlina Muhammad Saleh for giving me a fully guidance on completing this project. My project is related in the warehouse. Warehouses are places for storage and distribution goods. The basic operation in the warehouse such as receiving, inspection, storage goods and inventory management. My project is about to adopt the Kaizen concept in the warehouse such as 5H at the company Sumber Petroleum Cemerlang. Hence, need to apply the Kaizen method in the warehouse for an effective management of inventory. The Kaizen principle is very important as it can improve the work efficiency and also can ease the management to do the job. My project, the project sustainability toward environment, economy and social is such as change the warehouse to the better environment, achieve target thus rise the profit of the company, and lastly ensure the safety of the workers. Next, proceed to the next slide, which is literature review. Firstly, the implementation of 5S methodology in warehouse. Abhishek Jain in 2020 said that the productivity improvement in the warehouse and manufacturing in India can be achieved by 5S method. Second is the implementation of Lean principle to improve the operation of a steel warehouse in the manufacturing industry. The key point is the waste also need to be identified and eliminated as to ensure a smooth flow in the warehouse. Third is implementing Lean in healthcare warehouse operation by evaluating of 5S best practice. Kilpatrick 2003 has mentioned that the importance of Lean production strategies for eliminating 7 types of waste. For example, the excessive inventory which will give negative impact on the hospital's cash flow. 4 is the warehouse improvement with Lean 5S. The success of the implementation of Lean would lead to reducing time on the picking time and material handling. Lastly is the application of the Kaizen 5S method for the layout of the warehouse section. According to Han, he said that the method of Kaizen also can minimize the risk that will arise in the workplace. Okay, now proceed to the next slide, which is the current layout in the warehouse SPC. As we can see, there are many excessive inventory at a certain place in the warehouse. Excessive inventory is one of the type of waste. The problem statement is as you can see from the layout, there are many excessive inventory, and this inventory will affect the work efficiency in the warehouse. Thus, it will create low productivity work performance among the employees. Lastly, the unorganized warehouse, improper store the good in the warehouse, excessive good, uncomfortable work environment, and the waste that does not add value are existed. For the example, from this picture, at the outside warehouse, there are many excessive inventory also in the warehouse nearby the site office and so on. Okay, next proceed to the objective of this project. The objective of this project firstly is to increase the productivity of work performance by 5S implementation. Second is to redesign the layout so that can improve work efficiency. For the example, redesign the layout by shorter the distance between the production line with the warehouse. Lastly is to easily identify the type of waste that exists in the warehouse or workspace and prevent from producing excessive inventory. Next is my methodology. My first step is by visiting the warehouse for 2 weeks in class. The Gemba Kaizen, which is where the work or processing happen. As you can see from this figure, firstly to apply the Gemba Kaizen, need to identify the business problem. Second is go and observe behavior to find the root cause. Third is identify a root cause, make improvement to resolve the problem, And lastly, monitor improvement and readjust if that is necessary. The second method is apply 5S method. The 5S method is come from Japan and have been used in any industry of warehouse. The sequence of 5S, which is sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and lastly sustain, which is sustain, keep discipline to practice this method. Okay, this is the detailed explanation about 5S. Firstly, sort is to remove all unnecessary work that does not add value and clean up the workplace. Second is the set in order, arrange the necessary item neatly in the right place so that it will be easy to find it and return to its place after use. Third is shine, regularly clean up the workplace and equipment after use. Fourth is standardization, make a routine and set standard for best practice. Lastly is sustain, keep the procedure, maintain audit work method, make 5S the crucial method in the warehouse and improve the culture. Lastly, methodology is identify the type of waste. Waste is anything that doesn't add value to the product or service, operation or in the warehouse. There are 8 types of waste that may occur in the warehouse. Firstly is defect, reject or rework due to the human error or machine. Second is overproduction. Third is waiting. Fourth is talent or misuse of resources. 5 is transportation. 6 is excessive inventory. 7 is the waste of motion among the employee. Lastly is overprocessing. Okay, next proceed to the expected result for my final year project. Firstly is be able to increase the work performance and efficiency by applying the 5S method. Second is be able to redesign the layout in order to save more space in the warehouse. This will be achieved when the employees or workers can identify the type of waste easily and they keep the needed goods only. Lastly is the employee have the knowledge to identify type of waste that have existed in the warehouse and label the area such as red zone, green zone and yellow zone as to differentiate the item that needed or must be removed. Okay, proceed to the future plan. Lastly, as we can see from the figure above, show that the condition in the SPC warehouse with the unorganized equipment such as pallet, ladder at workplace, empty box nearby the working line, and lastly the mini tent located at not its place. Okay, for the case 1, unorganized goods and equipment. The equipment in the warehouse are look unorganized at a certain place such as a wooden pallet, ladder and the mini tent. For example, the wooden pallet nearby the site office can create unconditional accident for the employee if they immediately collided with the pallet, so it will affect the safety of the employees. Then is the ladder also located at the workplace and does not return to its original place after it. This is about the employees' discipline or attitude. Lastly, by having this, it will create the low productivity performance of employee, waste more time to find the equipment when needed, and affect the safety during work. Okay, then proceed to the action plan. Need to apply the Kaizen method such as CS method in the warehouse to make the warehouse look organized. To achieve this target, the company need provide the knowledge of CS method to the employees. Third, if for the example, apply the CS method, the employee must return the ladder to its original place after use. Hence, it can save more time to find the ladder when needed, and also can save the motion of the workers. Lastly, make the standardization of location for storing the goods and equipment. It will ease the workers to find the goods or equipment. This is the case 2. As we can see, the lorry in the warehouse has to transfer the oil to the tank, and sometimes the oil is leaking on the floor. And also beside there is also labeling that does not properly tag on the floor. The floor will become smooth and it is dangerous to the safety of employees. The labeling of area at machine and equipment also do not clearly seen on the floor. So the action plan must be taken as to solve this problem. For the future, the Gemba Kaizen implementation is very important. Someone or one of the employee must be responsible to monitor the condition of floor after transferring oil from the lorry tank. Third is make a schedule for warehouse cleaning, for example, once a week. It is very important to ensure the warehouse always clean, because clean or shine is one of the CS method. Lastly is do label the machine or equipment properly to follow the rule of standardization in the 5S method. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.